All right, guys, eggs, bagel, Larson press, belt squat, a little tricep variation. Usually one of my favorite days of the week, but with bench being a little wishy-washy over the past few weeks, we're gonna see how today goes. I don't know exactly how heavy we get. I know it's super high volume. It's like 9s on these, which I love, and the variation that we chose, the reason why it hasn't been going so is because we are going like finger on the smooth, like true finger on the smooth, almost like not even good for the shoulders smooth, like right on that border of wow, the amount of protraction I would need to force to actually like get this to hit my chest is like dangerously bad. It is that raw of a press, and I absolutely love it, and it's ascending, right? So before, when we'd be doing like maybe working in like 5s or 4s on Larson, I guess Larson we don't really get down to 4s, but 5s at peak, you know, low volume, maybe 4s. Those ascending sets don't take as much out of you beforehand, right? You do 220 for 4, 264 for 4, and then 308 for 4. But do 2 sets of 9 or 3 sets of 9 before you get to that top set of 9. It's like, damn, even if that was lighter, I'm definitely, you know, there's a little fatigue there. But I'm excited because we get to push the really, like the rawest version of the press today. Something that has boosted my press a ton. And then belt squat is what I'm actually excited to show you guys, because the amount that I've changed the way that I belt squat due to whatever, Joe and Brianni and other suggestions, and what that has done for my squat, even just in me understanding my squat, has been massive. So I'm excited to share that with you guys. But that being said, it is a really short day, only like 3 movements. I might even mic up for it. It's like that short where I don't even know if the voiceover would like, you know, I don't know. But whatever, I'm gonna eat this and then maybe add a little bit of, I think I'm gonna add a little orange juice. I don't know. We have to stay low at this body weight. We woke up this morning at like 226.5. I was like, oh geez, we're kind of rebounding back now. Now that volume's up and appetite's back up because we're actually training. It's like, ooh, I'm not holding that like low 222, low 223. I really don't want to write out like a full-on protocol for keeping me down here. If I have to, I will. But at that 226-ish, I would love to be able to add just a little bit more carbs to breakfast, because this is 60 grams of carbs to go train in on, and it's not like I'm solely training on that. Obviously, everything that I, you know, ate last night and ate after training yesterday also is there, you know, stored in glycogen, but not in the same way. I might add a very small, maybe like 40, 50 grams of carbs worth of orange juice with this, and then go to the gym. And I will see you guys there, voiceover or mic'd up, I don't know, one of the two.
The Army is doing something about the weather. Yeah, I'm back, nigga.
All right, I think that's as light as I'm gonna be able to get it, but all right, guys. We are gonna try the little mic'd up thing in here, because this day is so short. This gym is not so packed today, and we're feeling brave. So let's start with just the bar here, and our normal little guillotine press, warm-up-y thingy. The body is in shambles. Oh man. All right, I think it's gonna take probably a set or two to get these pecs to like actually get some real blood in there and you know, whatever, work out some of these kinks, but at least we don't have to go into aggressive extension today. I could not be happier that we have some Larson right now, because this lower back and these hips, it's always right when we start volume, like it takes me almost every single day from that primary squat day to that primary dead day to get recovered in like lower back, hips, and things like that. So it's really nice that we don't have to do anything really aggressive with that part of our body today. So we'll go red. Okay, Ron, what do we, 4x9, we finish at 297. So we'll probably go 231. Yeah, 231, 264, 297. I used to take these way closer to each other. Like if I had 297, I'd go like 264 and then like 282 or 286 and then 297. And that was the dumbest thing in the world. I would consistently end like that actual top set would be maybe 10 to 12 and a half keys lower than I would end on this structure's week 5, because I would get so uber fatigued before actually hitting that set that I wouldn't be able to perform on a top set. There's a balance, right, between like wanting to hit a top set in an ascending set format with fatigue, and then doing too much beforehand to where you kind of shoot yourself in the foot and take way too much weight off that top set. So, all right, let's see. The only normal rep of the day. All right, man. Well, that felt pretty solid. Maybe that orange juice has, obviously it's one red, but just the, you know, when you have that like feeling in your arms, you're like, you're full, you're poppy, that kind of day at the moment. Let's grab a yellow. The wrist wraps. I wish I was one of those stoic, no wrist wrap guys. Ron, Kev, all these guys just have that bar sitting perfectly over that forearm. I don't know what it is when I take these things off. It's not good stuff, man. All right, first set of 9 here. Oop, finger on the smooth. All right. All right, man, you know what? That might do it. Just that little orange juice might do it, dude. I swear. Even just compared to last week when it was just 220, like not 231, that felt better for sure, more full. Now we'll go 264. All right, guys, 264, second set of 9 here. This will be like a real indicator just in terms of, damn, if we get to the end of this and it feels like we could have done 10 more, which I don't think no, I can't. 264 for 10 or for 20? I don't know, whatever, we'll see. All right, here's what I'll say. We feel strong, but we feel tired. Like by that 7th, 8th, 9th rep, we're definitely like losing juice. But first rep, kind of 1 through 5, feels really strong. So I don't even know how much exactly would be taken off of like legit top end strength right now in terms of singles, doubles, triples, but 9s right now, I mean, man, dogging it. Top set, we've done more. Let's just cruise. Nothing too explosive. Anytime it gets above 8s, it's just about rhythm. It's like almost like an AMRAP type of learning curve. Let's see what we can do. I feel it. Wow. Like I'm saying, man, bench is not benching. That's 2 reps short. And we've hit, I think, 308 for 9. That was the goal, to match next week. Whether it's the slightly lower body weight taking a hit, or whether it's just the amount of volume we're under fatigue, whatever it is, be what it be. We'll get 2 more reps on here in a sec, which is not normally what I do. Because this would obviously just indicate an overshoot, which would be me, right? It doesn't matter what you can do or what you've done. It's what can you do on the day, right? It's RPE based. So this was an overshoot. I really shouldn't take these next 2 because I guess I just hit a set, maybe not at 10. I think if I took that last rep, maybe that would have been a 10, something like that. So taking these next 2 reps is technically going above. Maybe I'm adding more fatigue than I should on this day. But that being said, I'm gonna do it, right? It's not squat, it's not deads. It's my 4th bench day of the week. Falling 1 or 2 reps short on 1 of 4 days out of the week is nothing that I'm too stranger to. And it's nothing that's gonna be detrimental. It's not like retaking a deadlift top set or retaking a squat top set. Completing the day here. Sure. 297 for 7 plus 2. Let's move to belt squat. On to the belt squat that we do very differently than most people do. I'm excited to show you guys. And we used to have on this like secondary bench, I guess you'd call this tertiary bench, and secondary squat day, we used to push like high bar really, really hard. And then once, whatever, rib broke and all that injury stuff happened, removing that for like just a hack squat or a belt squat and just getting this volume is brought my squat up, I think, by 30, 40 pounds or something like that. So don't be afraid of finding like individual frequency. And the way that I am now doing these is so specific. This harness is way too short, whatever, that's fine. The way that we're doing these now is a way that we got bullied into doing them by Joe, Sullivan, and Briani. I'm gonna have to grab a band to do them properly. So I guess we'll do them the way that everybody does them right now. Biasing hip flexion aggressively and making it not so specific to my squat here. Oh man, we are sore, dude. But all we're gonna really focus on is this closer stance that we adjusted to Monday. And again, just arches. Just trying to get used to applying force through that IR chain aggressively. All right, so with 1 plate or not, I'm not sure how aggressively we're biasing hip flexion, but it doesn't matter. You'll probably be able to see the difference immediately when I throw another plate on here and get this band. Give me a sec. And we got 2 plates on there. We got our band over here. I'll show you guys exactly how to set this up for this belt squat that will carry over significantly better to your comp squat. Foot pressure wise, degree of knee flexion wise, degree of hip flexion wise, it is just so much more specific. And my favorite part about it, outside of, I guess, the fact that it's more specific, I guess, is king. But the fact that I don't have to load this up with half as much weight for a better stimulus, even though the belt squat already isn't gonna fatigue us like that because we don't have any axial loading going on, right? Like no loading of the spine in, this is so nerdy, dude, in a vector perpendicular to gravity, right? That's all axial loading is. So I'm like standing straight if I'm getting compressed directly. But we have none of that because it is going to attach to the sacrum. Now, when I hold this dumbbell here, like out in front of me in like a goblet position, the amount of DMs I get saying like, wait a minute, doesn't that just make this a goblet squat? Isn't this now so much more quad dominant and blah, blah? It's like, no, dude, holding the 25-pound dumbbell as a counterbalance directly in front of your face does not change the fact that you are still being pulled from the sacrum. That's all it is acting as, is a counterbalance. And I throw on these sleeves like right after, I think, a plate usually. But these aren't like my normal stiff sleeves. These are Stoic. I call them sock sleeves. I love Stoic, actually. I really like those guys, but their sleeves, I haven't tried, to be fair, their version of like their stiff, excuse me, some of their like stiff or SBD stiff sleeves, like now that all of these companies have come out with their own version of stiff sleeves, I haven't tried them, so I guess these aren't supposed to be like that, but these basically just feel like compression sleeves. Like they're just squeezing your knees a little bit. They don't really give you anything. Not that the Inzers or any other stiff sleeves gives you a ton per se, but more than these for sure. Damn, bunched up. All right, that took forever. Now, here's how to set this thing up, all right? I hope my head's in here. Watch, right? I want you guys to go around this arm, put some tension here, then pull and tie this down. Now what that's gonna do is when I actually do let go of this arm, it'll actually stay back, which is like 99% of people's excuses for not doing this. They're like, oh, if I don't take my hand off, if I do take my hand off, it won't stay. I'm like, dude, grab a band, grab a jump rope, grab anything slightly elastic and put some tension on it and you'll be a-okay. Get out here, unrack this, and watch with just 2 plates. I'm actually curious to see the difference when I go and watch this footage. But this should be far more specific to my comp squat. All right, man. I'm not gonna lie, even with 2 plates right now, after those squats, the amount of volume I have on Monday, we are lit up and inflamed. But as soon as I did start doing these squats, these belt squats like this, I actually started gaining something from them on my actual comp squat day. So we might take these down by like a plate. I know it's so light, but these are kind of the things that I've learned, right? Where if I push this to 4 or 5 plates and really push myself on this day, I'll get absolutely, I'll get completely destroyed coming into Friday's deads, right? Especially when it's all of this like TFL and hip musculature acting up. It's just about getting the beneficial stimulus in today without destroying myself for one of the primaries. So we have 2 more sets here and then we'll be onto our little tricep movement. Set 2 here, 1 plate down. I think we'll be able to get a lot better stimulus here. Not in terms of harsher, but be far more controlled, less panicky out of the hole without these hips lighting up. Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
I've seen you at the Barbell Compound a few times.
Chicago Barbell Compound?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, nice to meet you officially, man. Johnny.
I'm like, I know that dude.
Yeah. Well, dude, this is a great spot, seriously.
So I just live right up the street.
Oh, sweet.
And I had been like driving out to the Barbell Compound for years.
Before you even knew this was here?
Yeah.
Dude, the only thing that deterred me was the appointment thing.
Yeah.
Right? That it's like you got to come.
A little sus.
But it's a little sus, but it's nice because I know nobody's going to follow me. You know what I mean? It's like actually hard.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad that I eventually bit the bullet and was like, dude, time to come in here. You know what I mean? Because this is like.
Welcome, man. It's good to have you.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. A kind fellow indeed, but I do not know like how well this voiceover thing's gonna work out in here, because now this is getting a little more packed and I feel like the biggest douche ever. Not only that, but I'm spastic, dude. When I train, like, I'm a total spaz. I take caffeine and like I turn into this little pre-workout jittery yap monster, which is horrible. It's almost nice to have the voiceover, just to have like, I went home, ate, showered a little bit, collected my thoughts on the session. Probably not gonna be half as negative during a voiceover as I am in the middle of my actual training. Whatever, we'll see how it goes, be what it be. This is our last set of belt squat here. All right, man, that'll wrap up our belt squats for the day. Just kindly untie your bands, obviously. Got a bunch of sweat all over here. I guess it is the ground, it's a platform. I still clean it off, I don't know. Probably don't have to, but needless to say, just leave things better than you found them. If I can even get this undone, god damn. Bro, all right, there we go. Cool. All right, we're gonna put the stuff back. I'll meet you by the tries. Final little movement here. We have our little tries. We'll try it on 8, whatever 8 is. All this cable weight stuff is such a joke. I do not know how people do the voiceover thing, man. This guy next to me is not happy about it. All right, some kickbacks. Heavy. Whew, too heavy. Damn. I don't know why they get such a bad rep, man. I get the whole line of force thing, and you know, I get it with a dumbbell, maybe. The fact that as soon as you break this point, you're not actually really doing much with the tricep. But with a cable, it is one of the most direct contraction. Feels so good. I absolutely love this. So we took it down from 8 to 7, whatever that means. And we'll hit this set in a sec here. Are we cheating on those? I think that elbow is coming down a little bit, but it still feels really good. I'm really direct. One more set here and we will be out of here, man. I think we're gonna stop in like the commercial gym that is connected to my building called East Bank, whatever. It's a joke. It's a horrible place. It's like a bad Black Mirror episode. That place is horrible. But they do have Normatex that I was using throughout the entirety of prep. After this day when I would belt squat, during those on directly after training, it's not like I'd feel, it's nothing crazy, you know, it's no big game changer recovery wise, but when I would do it, I'd come into my deads significantly fresher, which was awesome. So with the fact that we're feeling all of this up here and deads are gonna be aggressive this week, might as well. Last set here. All right, man. I think that was it. I think we're finished. I'll see you guys in the car in a sec. We'll wrap this up. All right, boys, that was not it. We tried the voiceover, which I do think would actually end up being like the most sustainable way of doing these videos. Is this over? Whatever. I do think it would be the most sustainable way of doing these just because it would elicit like the least amount of editing by far. Like literally just put the clips next to each other, don't even look at them and just throw it up. But I will say, maybe it was just because it was the first day doing it, but like, damn, that is so awkward. I do not know how people go in there and like command everybody's space like it's their own space and just talk. Like it's like a very crazy thing to do. Certain people don't want to be on cameras, yada, yada, yada. But we tried. We'll see how this actually ends up. In terms of training, not it. That is what I'm talking about when I said not it. Whatever, sub-maximal bench sets that, you know, shouldn't really be an issue. We've missed, I don't know how much we missed. You know, if we wanted to hit that maybe at 10 or at 11, that's fine. But this is week 3. We're supposed to go up next week, which we are not going to do unless we feel really, really, really good. And it was supposed to be 308 to 315. If anything, we'll retake that 297 to 303 and actually, if need be, hit it at 10. I'll hit it at 10. That's fine. But I wasn't supposed to push past a certain RPE this week. So that's why we stopped that at 7. Got the extra 2 in just to meet the volume, but that RPE for that set of 9 was not there today. On the belt squat, nothing that we are surprised about at all. Coming off of days that are such higher volume, now that I have one primary squat. Well, everybody has one primary squat, but I have one day with a bar on my back. Since that's the case, and we don't get to divide this volume up in terms of specific volume, right, like low bar volume or bar on the back volume, let's say, amongst 2 or 3 different days, that singular day is going to be really fatigue inducing, induce a lot of trauma and inflammation. Like coming in 2 days later, this almost feels like active recovery doing this belt squat. It's like, yes, it's specific active recovery. I'm working the same movement pattern, but it's almost just like getting new blood into the exact areas that are like really, really inflamed and sore from Monday. So it's not like they felt good, it didn't feel bad, just like ouch, kind of, you know, whatever, just touching something that's super inflamed. But nothing bad there. And then on those kickbacks, I love those kickbacks. I don't know why they get such a bad rep. I get it from the dumbbell standpoint, like I was saying, but on the cable side of things, that is awesome. And thank you, Kevin, for my younger brother, for like looking at me one day and just being like, who cares what he's like, do you like it? Like, does it feel, he's like, it ups my bench, and he benches more than me. He's like, just try it. I was like, okay. So I tried it, and I absolutely loved it. It took us to our 430 bench in the meet last time. But I'm going to get home. I don't know if we're going to do the Normatec thing at the commercial gym. I can't bring you guys in there. They don't let you film in there. I've gotten into a little kerfuffle, whatever, a little thing in there already because of it. But whether I do go do the Normatec thing or not, it is home, it is eats, it is immediately editing this and getting it out to you, and then getting prepared for our big day on Friday. I do think that on these subtotal days, I think it's just going to be a learning curve for myself to really come to grips with what I am doing nutritionally, where I'm not eating up before these big subtotal days. I think I just have to come to grips with the fact that shelving the subtotal actually means taking the numbers down on the subtotal days, which just isn't something I'm used to doing. I'm used to just eat, you know, coming into everything and trying to be as big and full as possible. And the difference that makes, I can't even explain. So whether it is managing expectations better or not, whatever it is, we are going to be more successful on these subtotal days, whether it's lowering attempts or managing expectations, whatever it is. And for these Fridays, though, I can get excited. I am juiced. We got a fun day, man. I'm going to go prepare.